What's going on, guys? It's the Top G here, Andrew Tate, back from prison and healing up, although my doctor says I do have to sit on a pillow for at least a couple more weeks. And I am here to issue an apology for my hypocrisy. I know, Cobra, this isn't like you, I know. I have reiterated countless times that I would never chase after a woman, any woman. They should be the ones to come to me. After all, I have so much to offer them. You know, my Bugatti, my houses, my bald head to smack, and I have stressed that you alpha males out there should do the same thing. But I found this woman last week, and I must confess, I am head over heels for her. She's pretty, but more importantly, she believes in traditional relationship values, she hates women, and she's materialistic. She's literally me. And as a matter of fact, let's try taking that hair of yours off. Oh my god, she is me. This is how I found this woman's page, and it certainly gives off a very strong first impression. Apparently she's also tweaking if she thinks lipstick should be applied with a fucking paint roller. I have never been in a relationship where that's not a given. Know that there's a lot of marriage material men out there, unnecessary semicolon, that meet, no S required, your highest standards. Don't think that there aren't good men out there or that they're scarce. Question: what is a good man? Is it someone who's kind, caring, compassionate? No. It's a guy who's A, filthy rich, and B, fiscally irresponsible, so much so to the point that he's willing to pay for the Birkin colostomy bags of someone that he's fucked twice. We, of course, have the mark of a completely unproblematic, uncontroversial reel. 3,000 likes and 1,000 comments. I fully understand wanting a rich guy, wanting to be taken care of, but what can you offer him? What makes you the best choice for him? Her response: men that have to ask what women bring to the table can't pick their dream women. Like the men in this comment thread here, for example. Undateable. A high-value man pursues the woman of his dreams because he can. He knows she got everything that he wants in a woman: morals, values, looks, personality, background, class, etc. He doesn't have to ask a belittling question. High-value women are unapproachable by men that will take what they can get. That's why they'll tell you that they've never heard that question in real life. So, just to clarify, you categorize yourself in that group? Yes, it's obvious what these high-value girls bring to the table, and it's not just looks. You know, there's pretty women everywhere. It's kindness, it's a fantastic personality, it's goals and hard work towards them, and it's a competent grasp of grammar. They only attract the men that they redeem to be the full package. Do you mean deem? Better hope your man funds your Kumon tutoring lessons too. But for the non-high value women, you know, the 99%, what gets brought to the table is not so immediately discernible. That's why these questions must be asked. Everyone underneath the highest level of the food chain has to scrounge around for the scraps. And when you got the scraps, you gotta pick out the bones. For the next one, get ready to produce hemoglobin, because this one comes with a healthy dose of irony. I mean, at least she's being honest, right? Everyone's apparently like, you're a monster. You only care about your man's money. You're a gold digger. And she's just like, fuck yeah I am, and what? I'll build you up. I'll ignore all the successful men for your dusty behind because I'm not a gold digger. Generous, classy men that respect me and want to treat me like a princess are lame. You say you want a man who respects you and treats you like a princess, aka pays for you. I mean, I don't know about you, but having your boyfriend buying you anything you temper tantrum him for, treating you like a fucking child at Disneyland, doesn't exactly scream respect to me. Because why a woman is so desperate for any man to give her attention for nothing in return? No ring, no money, no nothing. So desperate for any man to give her attention for nothing in return, which seems to me to indicate that what this woman is providing in exchange is being so generous as to allow him to give her attention. No, I agree, lady. The question here is, what is provided in return? When there is high-value men out there that can respect you if you can respect yourself. I mean, can you respect yourself? Since according to you, respect means spoil with gifts, but if you need someone else to buy you these gifts, it seems to me like you're not financially independent enough to purchase them yourself. We don't have to impress men with anything but our looks. As long as you look good and make them feel manly, you're good. Unfortunately, she's not really wrong here. But then in the caption, she goes and says, just you for existing as a beautiful soul is worth everything. So wait. Just having a beautiful soul is enough to be beautiful now? Wait, do we get the men's opinion on this? I'd like to go on the street and ask 100 women, Family Feud style, if they think they have a beautiful soul, and see if any of them say no. I mean, this woman seems to be under the impression that there's like 10 men for every woman out here. Like, come on, this isn't China. You are spreading delusion. You want to make these women believe that all they have to do to attract a high-value man who, by the way, is weeded out with extremely stringent criteria is to be beautiful, but then, only jokesies. Turns out you only have to be beautiful on the inside. This rhetoric pops up again in this video. But then, if you believe you're pretty, your confidence will shine. That's a fact. We don't actually have to be pretty. We can be pretty through the power of imagination. How many sarlaccs are going to internalize this rhetoric and turn into bitches in their everyday lives because they feel like they deserve the world due to their looks? And that's not to say that pretty privilege, treating someone better just because they're hot, is a good thing when it's working properly. But if you have everyone believing that they're worthy of priority treatment just because they become a 5 after like fucking 17 face filters, the world is just gonna become chock full of selfish assholes, and they're gonna become impossible to avoid. If everyone's super, no one is. Next video, get ready with me. Or like, get ready with me to catfish some idiots with loose purse strings. You're telling me you woke up like that? Yeah, don't bullshit me. What is this, part 7? Might take a 6-figure salary just to fund the foundation used here. Now let's be serious here. Obviously I went into this expecting to find basically every point she made to be either delusional or deplorable. But I'll be honest, the more I delved into her content, the more I started to understand where she's coming from. Now, I'm not saying I agree with her. Her moral stance on relationships align more with traditional male and female roles, whereas I see myself as more fluid in my assumption of what each gender will provide. But I think that a lot of the people who are shitting on this woman in the comments are actually probably supporters of Andrew Tate, and in being so, the relationship values should actually match up with hers. Because, let's think about it. What has she preached so far? Men are the providers for the household? Tate says the same. Women are meant to be stay-at-home wives who look pretty? Tate agrees. The men are to have the job. They are to be the ones with the income, and they are to spoil their wives at every opportunity. Tate, Tate, Tate. These points all fall in line with the traditional masculine and feminine values that most of the men in our comment section subscribe to. It's just that it's a woman preaching them, and not only accepting her role in it, but embracing it. You know, taking the power that can be had in what may otherwise be deemed a more submissive part. And people are like, wait a minute, you weren't supposed to do it like that. Her videos really are Tate, but like the opposite, you know, brash, contrary to society, just for women. And people don't like that either. It's like, you know, what are women supposed to do? They're shoehorned into this role of a housewife, but when they take pride in it, they get backlash too. And some of these videos do have good advice. Stop dressing like dusty man bait. This is good advice. Dressing in skimpy-ass clothes will attract guys who want to fuck. Dressing elegantly will attract people long-term, because they'll know that this person is looking for more than just a quick fuck. And that applies to both men and women. I hate the phrase "don't be easy" because of how it's been used to slut-shame for decades. However, the original intention of it wasn't for that. It's for being in your divine feminine energy, a state where you are not so easily accessible to everyone. Again, good advice. Don't be easy, which of course is referring to other things aside from kissing, is the right way of looking at things if you're looking for something long-term. This video is kind of speaking out against modern Western culture and the ideas of situationships and hookup culture, which is something I fully condone. You are letting men waste your time in situationships. It's true. And it's kind of fucked. We expect women in their 20s to be single and available for hookups, but once they reach their 30s, they're expected to be settled down and have kids already. Now, I'm not saying you should marry young, but if you're not at least looking in your 20s, the right one may pass you by. I think what all of this comes down to is people being unable to accept any negative feedback a group they identify with receives. Her content seems anti-male, so the men come after her. But realistically, her enemy is not men. In fact, her and her haters share a common enemy. The society that pushed fluidity in gender roles, that embraced weaker men and women willing to take on these men as projects. Now, I don't personally strictly abide by this rigidity in relationship roles, but I certainly understand where she's coming from. However, similarly to Andrew Tate, just because I agree with some of her values doesn't mean I'm on her side. She's pretty clearly not the greatest of people. She's extraordinarily materialistic, pretty rude and dismissive of others, especially men, and overall just seems like she values sensationalism over creating quality content. But maybe that's exactly the kind of woman Jeff Bezos likes, so just keep sitting there, Roses the Art. Maybe he'll come to you. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe because I'm a pretty petite woman and I deserve your attention and money. Comment if you know of any other Instagram gold diggers for me to date, make fun of. Connor Hagerman out.